All right. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Sip and Spin. My name is Skylar, and over here in a Scott Pilgrim shirt is Brittany. And Mochi is right up where she doesn't need to be.
We are a variety podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing.
Yes, and yeah, Mochi just keeps flicking her tail right into the cord.
So sorry if you hear that. I'm trying to contain it. How are you? You look very cute today. We always talk about me, but you look very cute.
Yes, I've got my fried egg beret and my mushroom cardigan.
Both of those things.
I figured, if this doesn't scream little Studio Ghibli, kind of like Kiki's Delivery Service witch vibes, then it was just incorrect.
I love it.
But yeah, I'm good. Earlier this week was a little rough, but then it got really good by the end of the week, especially when we went to go see Peter Pan. That was so much fun.
Yes, we went to the Peter Pan on Broadway. It was really good.
It was.
Skylar cried.
I did, like 6 times. There were a lot of tears.
Yeah, it was very cute.
And by the end of it, I literally could not stop crying. It wasn't like, oh, it made me emotional, I'm gonna cry.
She's having a moment.
I literally was sobbing and couldn't stop. I was like, okay, I just need to stop crying. And then every time I wiped my tears, just more came. And then apparently the director was sitting right in front of us, and I didn't even know that. And just people were coming up to congratulate him, and I'm sobbing, just right behind him. I'm
I'm sure it was a good look for him, honestly. Probably appreciated that.
Yeah, we went out to dinner at this really nice restaurant. Very fancy. They had excellent drinks. And I also wore my mushroom cardigan because you were like, that one waitress was wearing a mushroom cardigan, and I was like, I have one too. So
just rub it in my face. That's good. But the rest of the week was good too. It got better.
Yeah, it was really just that one day that was bad. Thursday was a bad day.
Yeah, to ruin a whole week. Good.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm okay. I'm gonna be probably a little frantic and crazy and not a great co-host up until after my family vacation.
Okay.
The more it gets closer, the more I'm just convinced I'm gonna die.
Uh-huh.
And I don't have a segment today, full disclosure, because every time I tried to sit down and do my notes, I was just thinking of, I need to pack this, I need to buy this, I need to get this together. I'm gonna die. I need to make sure Skylar knows what to do with stuff when I'm dead. So yeah, it's probably gonna be my psyche for the next 3 weeks.
Okay. Do we need to take a season 3 pause until?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I might not be the most present co-host.
Okay.
But I'll edit, and that's another thing. I have to plan out edits for when I'm gone, and I was just like, how am I gonna do this? But it'll be fine. Just sometimes I just have some spiral moments, and today was kind of one of those days.
Okay, I was just like, if we need to take a break or anything, and that's okay.
Yeah, because I like our topic a lot, and I had ideas, but my brain was not working with me about it, so I got to the point I was like, I'm not gonna force it, because if I force it, it's just not gonna be good. I'm not gonna be into it. And I have just other stuff I could be doing. And that's clearly where my mind was anyway, so.
All right. Well, I didn't have a segment last week, so it's fine.
Yeah.
And we can do what we did last week. We can just, kill time and chit-chat.
So.
Well, we can go ahead and say what we're talking about and what we're drinking, so we can start drinking. And then we can, just kill time and, have a little chit-chat before we get into it, if you want.
Whatever you want to do.
Well, today we're doing Mystical.
Yes.
And it is red wine.
And what did Skylar do?
So I picked, so I went and I got my wine that I was going to drink. And it was, the Snoop Dogg 19 Crimes California Red, because it's my favorite. And then as I was in line, there was also someone in the drive-thru. So I was just looking around at all the stuff that was up by the counter, and they had a Christmas display. And there was this red wine that was just sitting there, and all it said on it was red wine. I don't even know what, it just said red wine. And that's it. And I was like, well, it's the first time we're recording in December, so, I guess I'll get it and see how it is, and, as in, happy December, And so I took it up to the counter and he was done with the drive-thru. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, is this for sale or just a display? And he goes, I'll sell it to you. And I was like, okay. It's like, how much is it? And he was like, I don't know. I'll price check it for you. I'm like, okay. And he goes, $12.99. I'm like, cool, I'll take it. So that is what we are going to be drinking now. And so we'll see.
Lots of ambiguity around it, so.
But we have a little drink up here. Brittany said it was like a mix between Sprite and ginger ale, just because she thinks it'll be something that I am not a fan of. So if I really don't like it, I'm probably going to cut it with this other drink. But cheers. It's not awful.
We've had worse.
We have had worse. We've had Ghost Runner.
Which I saw the last time I was at the wine store, and I almost, just bought it for you as a gag. I was like, it's $20. I don't want to go out of my pocket for bad wine.
Yeah, it's not awful.
It's not horrible, but it does just kind of taste like a generic red.
Yeah.
Which, from where it's from, I guess that tracks probably for selling it there.
Yeah, you said it was
It's from the Biltmore estate.
Yes, which you brought up before on the podcast, haven't you? Or was it on the YouTube?
Maybe so.
You've definitely talked about it before.
I've been there. Cool place. Expensive to go see it. It's fine. It's in Asheville, North Carolina. Yeah.
Or unless it was game night. Or trivia night. Something like that.
Could have been, yeah. Anyways, I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast or the YouTube or anything. Because, I don't know why I would. Because it's been, this is when I was still in high school.
Yeah, I think it was we were doing something and it got
trivia.
Maybe, because it got brought up somehow outside of us. And you were like, oh, I've been there before. So I couldn't remember if maybe it was featured in a game, on one of our game nights, maybe it was a location in a game or something, or maybe it was brought up at trivia. Most likely it was probably trivia.
Trivia seems very plausible, yeah.
Yeah.
The most plausible, but you never know.
You never know.
It's a very popular place, so.
And if we did talk about it on the podcast or YouTube, let us know. But yeah, so watched my shows yesterday.
I was about to ask, are there any crazy updates?
No, they really have not brought back in the other thing.
The Omega Waves.
Yeah, they have not brought it back. We got some backstory, though, this week. We got some backstory about how he ended up with the other guy and how he left and, why he left. And then we got a little bit of angst, which was, excellent. I love it. Here for it. 10 out of 10. And then the other one, they went to a, water festival and they just shot water guns and threw sand at each other, and I was like,
sure.
It was, and I was talking to someone about it last night when I was at the distillery, and he was like, oh, beach episode. I was like, yeah, it was like a beach episode in an anime. It was beach episode.
Just a random lighthearted water adjacent.
Except there was also angst between two side characters, and I was eating it up. I was like, hello, yes.
Give me angst.
We love it here. And the other one, that one was just a cute little episode. He reconnected with his friends that he was on the badminton team with, because he stopped playing badminton, and then basically because he lost his eyesight, and then so he kind of isolated himself to his house, and that's why the other character was hired to be his caretaker. But then the Jimmy's character Mulk is taking C's character Day out more and to go eat, go to bookstores, stuff like that. And then he ran into his friends from the badminton team, and so they're reconnecting and laughing, having a good time. So no angst there, which I was like, okay.
This is fine.
It was just a cute little episode. I liked it.
Nice.
I started watching, and now I want to play The Sims so much now, because I started watching Karen and Connie on YouTube and all their Sims builds, and I'm like,
I don't know who that is.
They're these twins who I see them on TikTok a lot, but I've never sat down and actually watched their YouTube channel, and so I did that yesterday. And so now I'm like, I want to play The Sims. I want all the cheats. I want to practice and like make fun houses. But I need the cheat that lets you have unlimited money because I can't. I need money. Because I want things.
I mean, if you just want to build, you don't even have to worry about money. You just go into build mode. Like, without a sim there.
Yeah, but I want a playable house.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's still doable. All you used to do is put in the cheat code.
I don't know the cheat codes.
I mean, it's Control-Shift-C, motherload.
Oh, okay.
That's all it is. And you just keep doing that as much as you need.
Yeah,
or you can do Rosebud.
Yeah, okay. It's like,
it's very easy. You can just Google cheat codes.
Because they were like, oh, here's like the cheats on how to get like debug. And then you have to type in something in and you type in like BB live edit objects and like BB dot something else.
Move objects on.
Yes. And you get like debug stuff that they put in the game but then took out of the game. And I'm like,
yeah, this is all very universally known. It's very easy. You can
I didn't know this. I didn't know. Okay, you realize whenever we played The Sims on the YouTube channel was the first time I'd ever played The Sims.
No, I know. I'm just saying. You act like it's like something you have to, it's a secret to know. But you can literally just Google cheats and then it'll give you a whole list of shit you can do.
Because I figured you knew. But like she was talking about how like, they're like, and if you press like Alt 9 or Control 9, you can like raise objects up. I'm like, I didn't know that.
You can also make things bigger or smaller with the brackets.
Yeah. I didn't know that until I watched their videos and they're like, this is how you do this. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah, oh yeah. There's lots of, I mean, it's just the whole thing about Sims. People love to just cheat it out.
Mm. Can you do like multiple saves on one Sims game or do you, okay. Because I know I've got my house in Snowy Living right now, but now I want one in Cottage Living.
Oh yeah, you can have so many. I have like 100 saves probably in the Sims, so okay. Some are in the same world and I play different houses, but I want them to combine with my other house. Like you can do, it's very adaptable. That's why Sims is fun for a lot of people.
Okay.
Because you can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want.
Okay.
And there's like the cheat codes that are built in are very easy to do, and then you get into mod territory, and there's a whole mess of other shit you can do.
Yeah, she was talking about like tool mod a lot. That was one that got brought up a lot. Was tool mod. Like okay, I
would get familiar with basic cheats.
Okay.
Cheat codes and like the gallery and stuff, and then move on to mods.
Okay.
Personally. Like cosmetic mods, that's one thing that you could do that, no problem.
Yeah.
But like when it gets into like because there are mods that like let you be a K-pop idol and you like go through training and all this, and it's a little more intensive.
Yeah.
It like makes it an actual career. There are mods that you can make, which they're actually coming out with an expansion to make renting available now as an actual game pack. But there's a mod that already would let you like rent out property as a landlord. Like there's like very intensive mods. There are some that let you do like condos and like all of that like changes the game's makeup.
Is there a way that I can get furniture from a pack without having the pack? Because there's a lot of cute furniture and growing together, but I don't think I want that mod. Like, that seems like too much to keep up with.
Growing Together is a pretty decent pack. I would buy it on sale. I would buy any of their packs on sale. But you could probably, if not that I'm advocating pirating video games, but if you, like, possibly looked into that, that's one way to get stuff from EA. But there are modders out there that do make custom content, and you can go and download their furniture. Like, if you're looking for a certain style, I would like maybe Google or Tumblr's a really good spot, or Twitter's a really good place to find Sims modders, and they make just Sims CC or Sims custom content and furniture, and just look at that and see if there's any that like spark your interest.
Okay.
Like a style or a vibe you're wanting.
Yeah, because like growing,
that's a good option.
I was like, I just saw the furniture and Growing Together. I'm like, this furniture is so cute, but then like having to like raise a family, I was like, that's a lot. Like, and then you grow with the family, like, and then you get old, and then you have the other.
That's how Sims plays as you age.
I haven't played that long enough to age yet.
I'm just saying, it doesn't change that too much.
Oh.
It's just regular Sims, but they add like a few little features.
Okay.
Like, you can carry kids on your backpack, and like, Yeah, just different
okay.
interactions with stuff.
Okay, well then, okay, cool. Also the horse ranch mod, I was not gonna get it, but then I found out that if you put a ball in with the horses play with the ball, and I was like, that is so cute.
There are also goats that are pretty cute.
I might have to have this.
I bought it for the goats, and I haven't played it yet, so.
Yeah. Went to, never mind, that's something completely different.
Go ahead.
No, I got the things confused, and I was like, never mind, that is not what happened at all.
Now I want to know.
So I thought when I went on vacation to cottage living, because like I said, I had my snowy escape house. So I just kept going on vacation with Kato to cottage living. So that way we didn't have to be in the same town as his wife.
Nice.
And like, I've thought like, stray foxes just kept like coming up and hanging out with me in the house. But then I thought that was on the game we played, that like strays just kept coming up and hanging out with us.
Foxes are cottage living.
Oh, okay.
That's the pack they're in. So stray rabbits, stray foxes, and like chickens and cows, I think, were part of cottage living.
So what happened in our playthrough that we did on YouTube for the old Sims? Didn't we have like strays coming up, or did I imagine that?
In the when I introduced it, or when we played the very old Sims?
The old Sims.
There were stray pets.
Stray pets.
Dogs.
Oh, okay.
But in our playthrough, there might have been a fox, but I don't think we lived in that area, so. But no, foxes are a thing.
Okay, yeah. No, I think we lived in Snowy Escape on our first playthrough of my first time playing The Sims 2, because I'm pretty basic. I like the mountains, and I like snow. And
you know what you like?
I liked Kato, and I wanted
the last shot.
I wanted a rematch, because I was not happy with the way things ended with Kato last time, so.
Well, we can go back and fix it anytime. We just gotta kill his wife. I'll do it.
He hates us.
Lock him in the basement until he loves us. Like, those are things you can do.
That's insane. That's psychotic. That's a crime.
There are no cops. I mean, there are cops in Sims, but they don't get you for that. Then you just kill the cop.
If they don't get you for that, then what do they get you for?
Your Sim can just be a cop. You can go and be a detective and like catch criminals, but they're usually like breaking and entering. I don't think I've ever had to solve a case where someone murdered someone, but that would be interesting. I'm sure there's a mod for that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can get wild.
Excellent. Excellent.
She's like, interesting.
I'm like, we never did finish our Sims challenge. We may have to bring it back.
There's so much we could do. Especially now that you know a little bit more about it.
Yeah. And like,
familiar.
May want to start like a brand new playthrough as well. Just like complete reboot, restart, refresh, and go from there with like a better idea. Because we were just kind of like freeballing it at the beginning. And then we were like, here's the ideas we have. And then we just left it. So.
Very, very doable. Yeah, that sounds good.
But that is, I'm like now obsessed with The Sims.
It's easy to, it definitely comes and goes for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even the other day, I was just like, ooh, I kind of want to play The Sims. And it like, just came out of nowhere. I was like, I feel the need to control people.
Yeah, also, you sent me those 2 codes last night, and I tried to plug them in, but then my Steam just wouldn't, like, the rest of Steam would work, but then I'd go to, like, activate game code, and it just gave me a loading thing and wouldn't work. And so today, I tried it again, and it still wouldn't work. So I looked to see if there's an update. There was. I updated it, and, it let me put in the codes. I cannot believe you gave me 2 games. Like, I thought it was just going to be, like, little things. You gave me, like, 2 full games.
Christmas. Yeah, I did.
Thank you, but like, and both of them are on my wish list.
Like, no, they don't have to be. You want them.
Well, thank you. That was very sweet.
You're welcome.
Keep wanting to play Stardew Valley too, and I keep wanting to play Coral Island. And then I'm like, do I go back to Hogwarts? No. I keep thinking about the room of requirement, and I'm like, I can't do it. I just can't do it.
It's too much.
Haven't even made it to the spiders yet, and that's what looks like it's going to be hell for me is the spiders. I haven't even gotten there yet. I can't get past this damn ghost.
That is pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, I think you might be past the time, but I think Steam, it does let you, like, refund games if you're like, I'm not feeling this. But I think you might have to do it within, like, your first 2 hours of opening it.
Oh, wow. Then, yeah, definitely.
So, I don't know if they would still, if they see your playtime and you're like, I really not, like, I don't know if they would. Sometimes I feel like they do, but there is, like, a window if you, like, buy a game and then you play it a little bit and you're like, actually, I don't like this. You can, like, get a full refund. And your reasoning can't just be, that's not what I thought it was going to be, or I just don't like this.
Yeah, okay.
So, for future reference.
Then I'm like, I kind of want to go back and try Dragon Age Origins again, but then I'm like, I don't think I can. Like, I'm just not good at it. I tried so hard and got not so very far.
Start with Inquisition, then.
It's just the combat was so, like, it literally was just that other guy that did all the work. And then somehow I got us stuck in, like, a poison trap, and I'm like, okay, dope.
Combat on Origins, if you're not familiar with it, is tricky. Inquisition is why I told you to start with it, and it's a little easier.
Yeah, but I storyline.
I mean, it is the thing you're sacrificing, but to maybe get you in the vibe and see if you even care about the storyline, it could be a good way to start. But yeah, need to cut it.
I was just getting it drunk far enough down where I could add some.
It's not great.
Yeah, it's not awful, but it's not great. Better.
Good.
Good. Very good. 10 out of 10. Well, I guess I should go ahead and get into it if there's nothing else.
Yeah, you actually have something to talk about.
I do, crazily enough.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So, today I'm going to be talking about crystals.
Yay.
Yeah. And shock surprise for my segments, before we get into the mystical and the whimsy, I have science.
Of course.
As per usual.
So we would expect nothing less.
So, crystals have been like beautiful creations used in jewelry, home decorations, and metaphysical healing purposes for centuries. And there are so many different types of crystals that can take millions of years to form. And as a crystal forms, it goes through a process called nucleation, during which a solution, liquid, or vapor becomes arranged in a crystalline solid structure. Some crystals are formed under pressure, or when a liquid from a solution evaporates. They can be formed deep underground, or they can be laid out in layers and formed that way. Or sometimes a liquid will drop, and then when it drops, it forms a crystal. And then once the nucleation phase occurs, the crystals can then grow into very large structures if they have the room and the growth conditions are stable enough. Their internal crystalline arrangements of atoms determines their chemical composition, properties, and color. Most minerals are colorless in their pure form, but the way that light interacts with different atoms causes impurities in the atomic structure, which is what creates color. Now, like, as we talk about crystals for non-science purposes, everything can be called, like, a crystal, especially when you talk about it in, like, this sense, like this mystical sense. But not everything is actually a crystal. So, it's definition time, baby.
There you go.
My favorite. So, a true crystal is a solid material that has an internal crystalline lattice structure. Examples would be clear quartz, rose quartz, and citrine would all be real crystals. Okay. Then you have a mineral, which is a naturally occurring solid material with a well-defined chemical composition and fixed structure that may or may not be a crystalline structure. Most minerals, such as standard quartz, not clear, not rose, just not smoky, just standard quartz, which is silicon dioxide, or SiO2, are composed of more than one element. Some minerals contain trace amounts of other elements, like amethyst is quartz or silicon dioxide, and it has trace amounts of iron, which gives the amethyst its purple color. Mm-hmm. So examples of a mineral would also be copper, chrysocolla, fluorite, and kyanite. Then you have a rock, which is a combination of one or more minerals. So most rocks are made from the most abundant elements on the Earth's crust, which would be silicon and oxygen. Examples would be red jasper, unakite jasper, and lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli would all be rocks. Then you have a gemstone, which is a cut and polished mineral or crystal that is chosen based on rarity, beauty, and durability. There are only 4 precious gemstones, which would be the diamond, emerald, sapphire, and ruby. And then they are the rarest, most durable, and most beautiful, although beauty is subjective, but general consensus, Semi-precious gemstones are easier to access and typically less durable, and those examples would be aquamarine, morganite, watermelon tourmaline, peridot, and topaz. Then you have a stone, which is any member of the previous categories. So a stone could be crystal, mineral, rock, or gemstone, can all be stones, except for metallic minerals such as pyrite, copper, or hematite.
Okay.
Then you have a fossil, which is a rock or stone that is the preserved remains of ancient organisms. So examples would be amber, jet, and petrified wood. Then you have tektite, which is a gravel-side body made of natural glass in a color such as yellow, black, green, brown, or gray that has been formed following a meteorite crash. And those examples of those would be moldavite and Libyan desert glass. And I'm excited to tell you that I have more science.
Okay.
But there will be some whimsy blended in.
I love it.
So now we're going to talk about these 7 crystal lattice systems. Okay. A crystal lattice or structure is a 3D symmetrical arrangement of atoms in a crystal. The shape of the crystal lattice determines which crystal lattice system the crystal belongs in, its physical properties, and its appearance. In general, minerals with the same crystal structure will often exhibit similarly shaped crystals. And now I have more definitions. So, first lattice system is the isometric or cubic crystal lattice system. So crystals that have 3 equal axes and meet at a 90-degree angle. So these are crystals that have 3 equal axes and meet at a 90-degree angle. Spiritually, these crystals in this lattice system represent contentment, non-attachment, focus, physical balance, and amplified energies. So examples of crystals in this lattice system would be pyrite, fluorite, diamond, garnet, lapis lazuli, and sodalite. Then you have the tetragonal lattice system, and crystals that are in this often have a rectangular crystal structure of 3 axes that meet at right angles and 2 axes that have equal length, and one is longer than the other. Spiritually, they represent manifestation, positive attraction, creativity, self-awareness, emotional balance, and higher consciousness. Examples of these would be rutilated quartz, apophyllite, wolfenite, chalcopyrite is, I believe, how you say it, chalcopyrite, and vesuvianite. Okay. And then you have a hexagonal lattice system, and crystals in this lattice system have a hexagonal interior structure with 4 axes, 3 of which are at 120-degree angles, and the 4th is perpendicular to them. Spiritually, they represent awareness, internal exploration, unconditional love, compassion, and positive communication. And examples of hexagonal crystal lattice systems would be emerald, aquamarine, morganite, sugilite, and blue apatite. Then you have the trigonal or the rhombohedral. You can use either one. It's either trigonal or rhombohedral crystal lattice system. And crystals in this have a 3-fold symmetry where 3 axes of equal length are at 120-degree angles and the 4th axis is perpendicular to them. Spiritually, they represent energy, amplified intentions, healing, alignment, and wellness. Examples of this would be hematite, pink tourmaline, black tourmaline, green tourmaline, watermelon tourmaline, sapphire, ruby, rose quartz, amethyst, and rhodochrosite. That's not how you say that. Rhodochrosite. Oh, okay. I read it wrong. And then you have the orthorhombic crystal lattice system. And crystals in this have an interior structure of 3 unequal axes, all of which meet at right angles. Spiritually, they represent potential, visionary, purification, motivation, concentration, protection, and mobility. And examples would be iolite, peridot, celestite, prenite, chrysocolla, and thulite. Then you have the monoclinic crystal lattice structure, and crystals in this have a parallelogram shaped interior structure with 3 axes. 2 are at right angles, and the third is at any degree that isn't 90 degrees.
Okay.
Spiritually, they represent protection, release, future predicting, meditation, purification, and motivation. Examples would be malachite, epidote, nephrite jade, kunzite, lepidolite, rainbow moonstone, and selenite. Mm-hmm. And then you have the triclinic crystal lattice system. And crystals in this have 3 axes, none of which meet at right angles. Spiritually, they represent protection, personal discovery, higher consciousness, spiritual expansion, yin and yang balance, and transformation. Examples include sunstone, larimar, kyanite, rhodonite, turquoise, amazonite, and labradorite.
Okay.
Yes. And now, back into science, baby. No whimsy here.
Here we go.
We are going to talk about the Mohs hardness scale just briefly, but not like super crazy. The Mohs hardness scale was a method discovered by German mineralogist Friedrich Mohs in the 19th century. And like I said, I would have left this out, but the Mohs hardness scale is actually important to look at whenever you're doing crystal work. I won't give you the whole list of like which crystal goes into like which part. But the scale is 1 to 10, 1 being the softest, which would be talc, and 10 being the hardest, a diamond. It's important because it lets you know if your stone is safe to use in water or in an elixir. You should typically avoid putting any mineral less than a 5 or 6 in water, or even storing it directly next to other crystals, because the more soft the mineral, the more likely it is to dissolve in water or get scratched by a harder crystal. So when I get into like the specific crystals later on, I will tell you its hardness level and if it's safe to use in water.
Cool.
Now, just because there is so much to crystals, similar as it is in herbalism, I'll just give a very basic overview.
That's very fair.
Briefly, how to choose your crystals, cleansing, charging, using intentions. Then I'll go over 10 crystals for beginners that I also use frequently.
I was about to ask, are you a crystal user?
I am.
Okay. See, I'm not, so I don't really know. I have crystals, but I just kind of no, you sit there. Because I don't use them in practice.
I'm a crystal girlie.
Okay. See, that's cool. I was I don't know a lot about this.
I know
general ones that you can use, but I've never worked specifically with crystals.
Yeah, I love them.
Great, I'm excited.
So yes, when picking out a crystal, using your intention is always the best way to go, much similarly to most things in witchcraft.
The mystical.
In the mystical, your intention, always trust your intentions. Trust your gut, get in tune with who you are on the inside and use that to help you in your practice. So you may be drawn to crystals of a certain color, shape, or even type, and just listen to your intuition. That's the main thing. When you get your crystal, the first step is to cleanse it. Crystals absorb energy, both positive and negative, so cleansing is very important. And even if you're well, I just bought this, I don't need to cleanse it. I mean, other people have come into that store, they have touched it, it's been around other people. Always a good idea, just cleanse your crystals when you first get them and then continue to cleanse them. Now, depending on how often you use them, you probably don't need to cleanse them. You said you just kind of have yours sitting out. So if you wanted to cleanse them, really just once a month would probably be okay for you.
I was just going to be also just anything you're bringing in, and if you, with the, to practice anything with, it's always a good idea just to cleanse.
Yeah.
Tarot cards, always cleanse them. That's what I frequently cleanse, and I don't necessarily, I do a general cleansing of my altar when I do it.
Yeah.
And then I charge certain crystals in full moons. That's about all I do, but...
Yeah, and if you don't use
my intention's there.
And if you don't use your crystals frequently, like, really once a month is about all you need. Like, even, like, my crystals that I use more often, I do, like, once, like, every couple of days, like if I use them a whole bunch. Now the ones that I keep in my purse that I don't really use, but I always have them with me, just like, I mean, I use them and then just like, letting their energy do what they need to do, but I'm not actively using them in like, manifestation rituals or...
I was trying to think of the word, but there's like a word for it, like not active, but like
passive.
I get, like you're passively.
Yeah.
They're there passively.
But since even though they're there passively, I'm still like actively letting them do what they need to do. So usually I do those about once a week. And then basically anytime I use a crystal, like for anything, like if I use it in a ritual, I typically try and cleanse it right after, just so that way it's already done.
That's a good point. This is not related to crystals, but I keep forgetting the safe travel jar that I made for our trip. It is still in your parents' vehicle, I think.
Okay.
You might want to get that. I don't know.
Okay.
In case anyone wants to question you about that, but I think it's on the passenger, like, door.
Okay.
And I keep meaning to tell you.
I wonder, did I leave my juniper berries in the car?
Might have.
I may have left my juniper berries. So...
Just in case, like, I didn't want them to be like, Skylar, what you doing? What is this?
Because I can't remember if I either put my juniper berries in my purse or I put them in the car. So they're either still in my purse.
Them in the car, but
okay.
I might have moved them.
Okay.
But I just know I meant to grab mine and I totally didn't.
Okay, well, I will get those for you.
It's fine. Like, you're welcome to keep it, but I just felt like I probably should tell you.
Yes, okay. But, yes, so cleansing is very important. And to cleanse, you can put it in the sunlight, the moonlight, you put it underwater, next to sound vibration, or pass it through the smoke of sage, Palo Santo. I'm a Palo Santo girlie myself, especially since Palo Santo helps boost creativity and reduce stress and anxiety, two of the things I need the most of. And also, it is safe to burn around dogs. Mm-hmm. And also, it is not safe to burn around cats.
If you are also not in the culture allowed to burn certain sages, please don't.
Yes.
Especially sage, though.
Garden sage is fine, especially white sage. Please do not use just white sage all willy-nilly. Like,
please no.
Please just don't use white sage in general unless you are a Native American, like, tribe shaman who is allowed to use white sage. Because white sage is, like, going extinct. Like, it's an endangered plant.
Because of people using it.
Yeah, garden sage, fine. But yes, I'm a Palo Santo girlie myself. I love it. But
I typically burn lavender more than anything.
That's fair. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you can use whatever calls to you. But do keep in mind, like I said, Palo Santo is safe to burn around dogs. It's actually not safe around cats because it's a citrus wood, and cats do not have the enzyme required to break down D-limonene, which is found in citrus pills and citrus wood.
Yeah. It's also a good thing. Like, just any, like, incense also, it's not great for any animal. So just, if you do this shit, just do it in either, like, a well-ventilated area, open a window, or put your pets up.
Yes.
That's what I typically do. Just as in general.
But yeah, so pass it through the smoke of sage, Palo Santo, or incense. Like if you do incense sticks, you can pass it through the smoke of an incense stick. And then also you're going to want to charge your crystals as well, because they cannot function properly without being charged, and it helps the crystal operate at its highest vibration. You can charge your crystals in sunlight, moonlight, under a copper pyramid, underwater, next to sound vibration, or submerged in dried flowers or herbs.
Do you have a preference?
I usually do mine in a copper pyramid because it's like quick and easy, and I can just put them underneath there. And
I was just curious.
I
didn't know you were a crystal practicer, so I'm learning
crystals.
So much.
I love them so much. They're my favorite. Like crystals and herbs are like my go-tos.
Nice. Yeah, I love that.
And then you're going to want to set your intentions. Each crystal has a unique structure that is believed to store energy, ideas, and memories. Each crystal also has multiple healing properties, so by setting your intentions before using it, you can focus the crystal to work for a specific healing or a specific goal or a specific intention. And you're also programming yourself to focus on exactly what you're wanting to achieve. And you also can place your crystals with intention. You can place them in your home, on your body, somewhere where you can take them with you. I keep a baggie in my purse, so I have my like most important and like commonly like things that help with like a wide variety of them, a wide variety of things. I keep those personally on me at all times. And I also have several bowls, pyramids, and jars set up around my room that I store crystals in. Or you can put them on a crystal grid. I do not have a crystal grid, but I like my like bowls and like, because like little half bowls as well, and like those are my favorites to put my crystals in.
That's fair. I was about to like, I think I might have a crystal grid I could give you. I don't use.
Oh, okay.
I have to look somewhere. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
If you want to.
Now, of course, when you're first getting into crystals, you can start with any crystals you want. But here are 10 that you can think of as just like a little way to get you started, because so many of them have multiple purposes. This list comes from the book I've been taking my notes from, and I am changing their list from 15 to 10 and using the ones that I use the most, and that like I started with. So like there were some on there that like I really don't think I've ever used, so I took them off the list because I was like, for me personally, I don't use those. So I just kind of wanted it to make it my own.
Love that.
So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm especially going to do the ones I use often. So I am going to read from the book because I just wanted to not have to type it all out.
Fair enough.
I was like, because my notes were already at 7 pages. And then just by adding the notes to one crystal, it went to like 12. And I was like,
oh gosh.
But I also was doing it in like very bulleted points.
Like how I do my notes.
Yes. So some keywords for our first one would be clear quartz. Obviously, clear quartz is a really easy crystal. You know, it's very common. You see it everywhere.
One of the only ones I use.
So that is a very, very good like beginner crystal. So it is the one, like keywords for clear quartz are master healer, divinity, spirituality, manifester, and amplification. And it has the following spiritual, physical, and emotional healing properties. So for spiritual healing, it is used to amplify crystals, the physical body, energy, thoughts, and intentions. It provides an energetic shield of protection against negative energy. It facilitates the manifestation process. It repairs leakages and expands your auric field. It is known as the master healer because of its ability to be programmed to work on any physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual ailment. It facilitates communicating and connecting with your higher consciousness and spirit guides. Increases clarity and understanding your intuition or psychic messages better, and helps clear and activate all energy centers of the body. Now, it can also work in physical healing. It has the ability to work with any health condition in the body to help bring it back into balance, brings vitality, energy, and restoration for your health, aids in pain relief, and supports a healthy nervous system and immune system. Now, there are a lot of physical healing things that crystals can do. I will go ahead and give a caveat. Crystals are not a substitute for like actual medical professional advice. Like later on we get to a crystal that like helps like, you know, bring joy back into your life and fight depression. If you are on antidepressants, don't stop taking your meds and just like get a little crystal and think like it's gonna help. Like,
a lot of people do that.
And like there's one crystal that like helps with like arthritis pains and like swelling. If you are on, like, you know, an anti-inflammatory medication, don't just get you a little crystal and be like, oh, this will fix it. No.
It's good to have beliefs and believe in something and put your thoughts and intentions into it, but we have modern medicine for a reason.
Yes.
That's why we're evolved as humans.
So you can think of the crystals when it comes to their physical healing properties as a way to help.
Yes.
And aid.
Some little sugar on top.
Yes, but don't just replace medical professional advice and medication with crystals. Just take your medicine and then have your crystals that helps the effects of your medicine,
Amplify your medicine with crystals.
Yes, amplify your medicine with crystals. Don't replace your medicine with crystals.
This has been a PSA.
A very important one. And then emotional healing, it helps stimulate the mind and boost your memory, works with emotional energy to stimulate positive and joyful feelings, helps treat any mental or emotional disorders. Once again, asterisks, do not replace your professional medical advice and, pharmaceutical medicine with crystals, please. And thank you. And it aids in releasing negative emotional attachments to others. Now, this has it is a number 7 on the hardness scale. The thing about clear quartz, you can put clear quartz in water, but it is sensitive to light and can cause a fire if it's in prolonged direct sunlight. So if you are like, I want to charge my crystals outside, maybe do your clear quartz at nighttime, not during the daytime.
Or just away from flammable buildings.
Yeah. Well, you also, you don't really want to catch your crystal on fire either.
That's true. Basically, just think of it like a magnifying glass.
Yeah, just...
That's why, people, charging crystal balls, maybe keep those in a protected area.
Yeah, or...
Because I have one. Every time I charge it, Richard gets really nervous. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, it's full moon, I move it out at 3 a.m. He's like, okay, just don't set the house on fire. And I'm like, I'm not. I only do my shit at night.
Yes, so especially with clear quartz or a clear crystal ball, maybe charge it in the moonlight, not the sunlight. Because you can charge and cleanse in both sunlight and moonlight.
Yes.
So anything that's a little dangerous in the sunlight, just charge it. Just charge it in the moon. It's okay.
I get everyone has their preference. I definitely gravitate towards the moon. I always have. But if you're very strongly about the sun, just keep an eye on it.
Yeah. Just don't leave it out there for too long. Maybe maximum 5 minutes.
You be smart.
Yes. Okay, so number 2 on our list is going to be rose quartz. Once again, very common. Quartz is a really versatile. Yeah, so quartz is always a good starter. Both, clear, rose, smoky quartz, all of these are pretty good starter.
Yeah, I think anyone who's into the mystical at all, even if they don't practice with crystals, they probably have a form of quartz.
Yes.
On their altar somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yeah. It is that bitch.
She really is that bitch. We love quartz in this house. Very basic, but also she gets the job done.
She knows what she's about. That's everything.
Yes. The keywords for rose quartz, you can think unconditional love, forgiveness, compassion, self-love, and joy. So in spiritual healing, rose quartz immerses the mind, body, and soul with the highest vibration, love. I thought you just laughed. I was like...
No. I was actually going to see if this doesn't really help you with the reading.
Oh.
I was reading. It's so dark in here. I need a lamp right there.
Well, it also doesn't help that the font is 0.8. It's an 8 size font.
That too. I was like, if I can help her, but that didn't really help you.
It helped a little bit, especially if I go like this, it really helps.
Okay. I can't turn the big light on if we need to.
No, that's okay. So in spiritual healing, it immerses the mind, body, and soul with the highest vibration, love. It deepens your connection with angels and angelic realms. It enhances affirmations that are repeated during meditation, and it helps cleanse the emotional body of the aura. In physical healing, it helps bring physical healing and strength to all areas of the heart, helps men and women get through their midlife crises.
Maybe that's what I need to get Richard more of.
Aids in the treatment of any chest, lungs, or thymus imbalances. Can increase fertility, passion, and romance with your partner. And supports healthy circulation, reproductive organs, and skin. Emotional healing, it is known to boost feelings of unconditional love for yourself and others, promotes feelings of kindness, compassion, empathy, and generosity, aids in recovery from abuse and heartbreak, is known to increase... also therapy.
Also therapy.
Don't use crystals as a replacement for therapy either.
I will say though, going back to skin, I do have a rose quartz face roller, and it does feel so much better after using it.
It does, yeah. These things really do help and aid as long as they're not used as a replacement.
Yeah, I
like
use
don't
it at the final portion of my skincare routine.
Like don't not do your skincare and just put rose quartz on your face. Like
all over my face. Tape it down.
Like, you know how everything says aids, helps, can increase. Please keep those words in mind. Those are very important.
It's just, a cherry on top.
So when it says like aids in recovery from abuse and heartbreak, also therapy. Yes. Therapy is probably your best option.
Yeah.
It is known to increase feelings of overall happiness and joy, helps bring a sense of peace and relief during times of grief, and opens the heart to allow you to forgive others and release the emotional trauma that's blocking the heart from wanting or receiving love. It is also a 7 on the hardness scale because it is, quartz. Most quartz is going to be that same level. Now, it can be used in water, much like clear quartz. Now, if you put rose quartz out in the sun, it will not light on fire, but the color will fade. So just don't put it out there for too long. If you're going to put it in the sunlight, just don't leave it out there for too long. Usually about 5 to 10 minutes is probably about the best amount for anything that gets damaged if it's left in the sun. Usually about 5 to 10 minutes is a good time frame. Mm-hmm. Now, rose quartz is my girlie.
Okay.
Love her a lot. My pendulum is rose quartz.
Uh-huh.
Most of my crystals are rose quartz. I love rose quartz so much. Another one that I have loved since I was 10 years old. Amethyst.
Yes.
Its keywords are protection, divinity, intuition, peace, and balance. So in spiritual healing is known as the healer of people, animals, and plants. It provides protection from negative energy and psychic attacks. It boosts psychic gifts and intuition, enhances meditation and connection to higher realms, helps release any negative or stuck energies in the spiritual, physical, or emotional body, and it works to stabilize and expand the aura. In physical healing, it can be used to treat migraines and headaches. She does not do that for me, but that is okay. That's why I have Excedrin.
Yes.
Supports overall health and well-being, promotes a peaceful night's rest. I do have a little crystal that came in the Goddess Provisions thing when they gave you that little crystal pillow bag. And I put amethyst down in there and I put it underneath my pillow, and it does help you get a good night's sleep.
Nice.
And due to the high iron content, it can help improve oxygen levels in the body. And it helps calm the nervous system and bring it back into balance. Emotional healing, it brings feelings of peace and harmony while combating stress and anxiety, shifts negative thought patterns into positivity and optimism, helps you recognize the root cause of your negative thoughts and behaviors, and helps you overcome any reoccurring negative bad habits, thought patterns, or addictions. Once again, not a replacement for therapy.
Yes.
It is also a 7 on the hardness scale. And also do not leave out in the direct sunlight for too long. The color will fade. Mm-hmm. It can be put in water.
Do you like amethyst?
I do like amethyst a lot. All of these I love. These are, like I said, these are the ones that I use the most often of. So number 4 is selenite. Mm-hmm. And its keywords are spiritual guidance, physical healing, protection, harmony, and authenticity. So with spiritual healing, it provides access to understanding and connecting to your past and future lives, provides a bright, energetic white light shield into your auric field and your home, enhances telepathy, intuition, and clairvoyant sensations, connects you to angelic guidance and communication, cleanses and charges all other crystals, enhances meditation and connection to higher realms.
I do love my wand.
Oh, do you have a...
Selenite one.
That's awesome.
I think most people do if they practice. So we've had one for forever.
Mm.
I just got a newer one recently that I haven't really done a whole lot with, but she is pretty.
Ooh.
I do love her.
Is it on your altar or on your shelf?
It should be on the altar.
Okay.
We had one that was on the bar for a while, but I can't remember if I moved that or what. That was actually Richard's when we first got together. Kind of stole it. Because I was like, ooh, you have a selenite wine. I'm going to take.
It's mine now. With physical healing, it can alleviate pain, inflammation, and tension in the body, may clear blockages that initiate physical healing, promotes a healthy, balanced nervous system. On a cellular level, can counteract the effects of free radicals to heal and restore, and supports a healthy spine and alignment. I do have a straight spine.
She's not saying it's crystal,
but I do have a straight spine. Also, there was one that I was reading earlier, and it was like helps the physical healing. It was like helps with exposure to all forms of radiation, and I was like,
oh, good.
I was like,
you know what?
Okay.
The way the world is going, we might need to know.
In emotional healing, it helps you recognize your best and most authentic self, helps you stay mentally focused, alert, and concentrating. It helps reduce mental fog, helps calm the mind to promote inner peace and a sense of tranquility, and it aids in emotional balance and stability. And when it said earlier, like it cleanses and charges all other crystals, you can charge your crystals overnight in like a selenite bowl. And it's an easy way to make sure your crystals are recharged and taken care of daily. Like if you just put them in a selenite bowl.
Selenite bowl would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't have one either.
I don't know if I've ever seen one.
I'm like, I need to see if I can find one.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Now, it is a 2 on the hardness scale, so don't put it in...
Maybe don't take a bath with it.
Yeah, don't put it in prolonged sunlight either, and definitely do not put it in water. It is a very soft stone. Not recommended. Okay, so next is black tourmaline. So the keywords for black tourmaline are grounding, protection, purification, positivity, and connection. In spiritual healing, it repels, deflects, and protects you from negative energy, works to release stagnant energy in your aura, chakras, or subtle bodies, cleanses and removes toxic energy and replenishes it with energy from the earth, increases spiritual growth and abundance, facilitates speeding up your manifestations, and connects you deeply to Mother Nature, allowing you to feel more grounded and centered. In physical healing, it can reduce pain and numbness, protects you from harmful radiation from EMFs, aids in the detoxification of the body of all poisons and chemicals. Also, call 911 if you ingest any...
Don't just take some black tourmaline and...
Like
your aura.
If you inject
poison.
a poison, call 911. Don't just use black tourmaline.
You can be holding the black tourmaline as
you call 911.
But dial out.
Yes, absolutely. Supports a healthy immune system and adrenal glands, and works to increase physical vitality and energy. And then in emotional healing, it encourages cooperation and optimism, helps reduce stress, anxiety, and worried thoughts, supports a healthy emotional state and stability, and can reduce or eliminate, once again, not a replacement for therapy, but suicidal thoughts and excessive fear. Mm-hmm. Go to therapy still. Please. That's what, I love crystals, but also, things like this, that it's please put a caveat in there, and since that caveat is not there, I am adding it. Go to therapy if you are struggling with these things, or go to the doctor. Don't just use crystals. You can use the crystals to help, but do not rely on them. Now, it is a 7 to 7.5 on the hardness scale. Now, some crystals you can, leave in water and, soak them in water, and you can actually drink that water. Do not do that with black tourmaline. A lot of black tourmaline contains aluminum and is very toxic if you ingest it. So just to be on the safe side, don't drink any water that black tourmaline has been sitting in.
There you go.
Yes, that is the biggest precaution. You can put it in water, just don't drink it. And you can leave it in the sunlight. It doesn't catch on fire, and it's A very deep black, so it's not going to like fade in the sunlight or anything like that. It's this one, the faded one.
Did you say the fade one or the fated one?
The faded one, where
I meant the fated one. I was like, ooh.
I ran out of ink on my sticky notes.
I gotcha.
So I was like, oh, the faded one. So this is Citrine. She's my baby girl.
Okay.
I love her.
I was going to ask, at the end, if you have a favorite.
I have many favorites. I can
If you had to pick one.
Oh.
If it's not one we haven't talked about yet, that's fine. You can wait till you get there. I was going to ask you at the end.
I think, I can't leave my girl Rose Quartz out.
I was wondering if it was going to be that. Because you mentioned that, but then I also know you love amethyst.
And I do love
citrine,
amethyst.
So
and I love citrine. So I think I have to pick Rose Quartz, but
that's fair.
If not, it would probably be either citrine or, which this isn't on the list, malachite.
Okay.
I love malachite. Malachite's my homie.
For any reason, specifically?
I'll tell you about it.
Okay, yeah.
I was like,
mean to off track. Yeah.
I was like, I didn't put malachite on the list, but I can add a little malachite in there. Like, I'll add a little malachite in there. Because I actually have several, like, malachite stones. Okay. Like, and I keep them all, like, in a bowl together, and then I sprinkle selenite, like, they're cut like a long, thin stick of selenite. And I like disperse the selenite between the malachite in like a little bowl together, and I'm like, this is my favorite bowl.
I made this.
I did this. I made this.
Nice.
That goes back to placing with intention. I did that on purpose, and I was very proud of it.
Nice. Okay.
But citrine is abundance, joy, digestive balance, wealth, and luck. In spiritual healing, it radiates high vibrational energy, making it perfect when manifesting prosperity, success, and abundance. Guides us to find our soul purpose in this lifetime. And by soul, it is S-O-U-L, not S-O-L-E as in singular, but soul as in like your internal soul.
Gotcha.
Purpose. Stimulates a deeper connection with your higher self and spirit guides. Promotes new perceptions, creativity, and ideas, opens, activates, and balances the solar plexus chakra. And in physical healing, it helps bring balance and healing to the digestive system and metabolism, is known to boost stamina, endurance, and physical energy, works to regulate a healthy liver and kidneys, helps support and balance the endocrine system and hormones, supports healthy blood flow and circulation. Emotional healing, it helps reduce fear, worry, and anxiety, aids in stimulating mental focus, personal empowerment, productivity, and mental clarity, can strengthen self-confidence, personal power, and self-esteem, helps you develop a positive attitude toward anything that life swings at you, and provides support in releasing old limiting beliefs, which I really like that.
Yeah. Very useful.
So it is a 7 on the hardness scale, can be used in water. You can drink it. It is not toxic.
Bottoms up.
But the color will fade in direct sunlight. Mm-hmm. So that is citrine. And let's just go ahead and so I can look at my baby.
Malachite is pretty.
Malachite is
no
beautiful.
It's honestly, I mean, all crystals are pretty.
I'm like, I'll read you a little bit about malachite.
Okay. This is not part of the beginners.
No.
Okay. This is just a Skylar insert.
Yes, this is just a Skylar insert. And that is okay because I love her. So its keywords are emotional release, heart healing, and this is why it's not in the beginner one because it is a highly vibrational crystal. And so the things, when you're first getting into crystal work, some crystals have higher vibrations than other crystals. And so if you have very strong, like, empath feelings and like you're not used to feeling that go through your body, it can be very overwhelming. So anything that has like a super high vibration I wouldn't recommend for beginners. Like, let you start feeling crystal's energy work through your body before you jump to something like malachite. That is why it is not in the beginner's list.
That's fair.
Now, some people you can just jump right in, and maybe malachite, like, it doesn't bother you, but a lot of people, like, it is very highly vibrational, so it can be a lot when you first do it if you're not used to it.
Interesting. I actually don't know if I have any malachite.
But yeah,
I am also very empath heavy, so it's probably a good thing.
So maybe that's why. Maybe that's like
I've never been drawn to it. Maybe that's why.
Yeah. And so in spiritual healing, it clears, activates, and balances all the chakras, especially the heart chakra, increases positive light and vibrations for the auric field, supports inner and creative visualizations. It is a stone of transformation, assisting you through big changes in your life, helps you move beyond your ego to altruism, enhances spirituality and psychic abilities. In physical healing, it can align and cleanse cellular and DNA structures and works to restore and increase physical strength and vitality. And this one I brought up earlier. And I was like, oh, there's one that like does this, but it wasn't on the list, so I wasn't going to say it. But it can provide protection from all types of radiation.
So you're very well protected. From the radiation wars we might enter.
Yeah. Supports a healthy immune system and aids in the treatment of broken bones, swollen joints, asthma, and arthritis. Once again, do not use malachite to replace your anti-inflammatories. If you have a broken bone, go to the hospital, get a cast, get it reset. Do not just trust the malachite.
You'll be all right.
And emotional healing, it increases unconditional love for yourself and others, helps heal old emotional abuse and wounds, especially from childhood trauma, aids in releasing repressed emotions stored in the subconscious mind, and encourages healthy relationships based on love and compassion. See why it's one of my favorites.
I'm just like, I don't need that. It's fine. I'll live with my trauma.
It is a 3.5 to 4 on the hardness scale, so it can't go in water, and it contains copper and is a soft stone, so it will like basically dissolve and break in water. And don't place it in direct sunlight because the color will fade. So yeah, that's malachite. That's my baby right there. I love malachite.
So are you saying that's your favorite?
Well,
or still like, I gotta give it to Rose.
I gotta give it to Rose Quartz. Like
That's fair. That's very fair.
She's
doing the most.
Yeah, and she was one that I started with. So it
fair.
was amethyst, clear quartz, and then rose quartz. And like, I mean, usually I'm drawn to rose quartz. Like when I was picking out my pendulum, I picked out a rose quartz pendulum because I didn't even like I didn't like look at all of the stones that were on it, which I mean, I can tell when rose quartz is rose quartz, but I picked one that I was drawn to, and it's rose quartz. And so that's usually, but you got to give it to my girl Malachite though. Love her a lot, but I think
she do be doing a lot too.
I think rose quartz is my one.
Okay.
But close second with malachite and citrine. Okay, and then number 7 on the list is fluorite. So keywords for fluorite: focus, clarity, divinity, intuition, and protection. In spiritual healing, it provides an energetic shield to protect you from negative energy, cleans and restores all 7 chakras, protects, repairs, and seals the energy in the aura, increases intuition, telepathy, and psychic abilities, enhances and deepens your meditation. In physical healing, it aids in the treatment of colds, flu, staph infections, or strep infections. If you have an untreated staph infection, you will die. So, once again, do not use this as a replacement. If you try and just use fluorite to help with the staph infection, you will die. Staph infections can be fatal if left untreated.
Yeah, pretty serious.
Yes. Like, a strep infection, you can probably, like, you don't have to immediately get it treated. You will just be contagious for a long time, and you will feel bad. But
go get it treated.
It's always better to get, like, either an antibiotic or something to help with the strep infection. But if you have a strep infection and let it go untreated, you won't die. A staph infection, you will. So please keep in mind when we say all this that it's not a replacement.
Yes.
helps you feel more balanced, especially when experiencing vertigo. Aids in the mobility of joints, aids in stimulating the mind, increasing concentration, focus, learning, and memory. Initiates cleansing and purification of the body's organs. Now, emotional healing, it instills happy, healthy, and positive relationships with others, works to balance the emotions and keep them stabilized, calms the mind, reducing stress in the body, encourages you to search within for answers instead of listening to outside influences, and it awakens the mind to be open to endless opportunities. It is a 4 on the hardness scale, so don't put it in direct sunlight. Once again, the color will fade, and do not put it in water. As one, it can dissolve. Also, it is toxic in water. Mm-hmm. Don't drink water that fluoride has been in. Also, just don't put fluoride in water in general because it will dissolve. Going on to number 8, celestite. I have celestite. I don't have a whole lot of celestite, but I like the celestite I do have. So, keywords for celestite are peace, angels, serenity, communication, and relaxation. So in spiritual healing, it helps you communicate with your higher self, angels, and spirit guides, magnifies your spiritual awakening and experience, attracts good luck and fortune, stimulates clairvoyant communication, helps you acknowledge and accept your spiritual gifts from the divine, works on releasing stuck energies in the aura, subtle bodies, and chakras, and it harmonizes your yin and yang energies. Very good for balance. It's a very balanced crystal. Mm-hmm. In physical healing, it brings peace, stillness, and harmony to the body, aids in the treatment of the ears, mouth, head, nose, and throat. So, not a replacement for an EMT. EMT? ENT.
I mean, also not a replacement for an EMT, but if you need an EMT, please don't go to crystals first.
But it was just like ears, mouth, nose, and throat. And so I was like an ENT. But I accidentally said EMT, and I was like, wait. Aids in minimizing inflammation and pain in the body, helps soothe and relieve any digestive issues, and promotes a peaceful night's rest. Emotional healing, it helps combat any fears of flying, agoraphobia, speaking in public, or large crowds. Can relieve stress and anxiety, helps maintain emotional balance and stability, and instills feelings of inner peace, serenity, hope, and tranquility. It is a 3 to 3.5 on the hardness scale. Do not keep it in direct sunlight as the color will fade, and then use it into soft water is soft. And this one won't dissolve, but it will break into like mini little pieces.
Mm. Sounds like I need to get some of that for my vacation.
Yeah.
Agoraphobia, fear of flying, and large crowds. I have all of that anxiety coming up.
I'll get you some.
I don't think I have any, actually.
I know where to find some.
Might need to do that.
I'll even put it in a little green bag for you as it's your favorite color. Now, number 9, we're bringing it back to, the staple. Smoky quartz.
Ah.
So the third different type of quartz on the list, once again, like I said, quartz is a very...
Back again, baby!
Quartz is a very, very good beginner crystal in all of its forms, basically.
I mean, there's a beginning, there's a reason that, anyone getting into anything mystical or, witchcraft or spiritual, any beginner, kit boxes or any beginner whatever, there's always, a little bit of quartz.
Yeah.
They're gonna give you that. You're gonna get very familiar.
Yeah, quartz is always there.
Always.
And we love her for it. Yeah. She's all reliable.
Truly.
So the keywords for smoky quartz are protection, grounding, peace, restoration of energy, and balance. So in spiritual healing, it helps cleanse the aura and chakras of any blockages, provides a shield of protection from negative energies, harmonizes your yin and yang energies, is grounding, reconnecting you to the earth's healing energy, deepens your meditation, allowing for clear thoughts and the ability to be more present in the moment. Physical healing, it helps align the body back into equilibrium, can relieve chronic pain, including migraines and cramps. After an illness, it can restore your vitality and physical energy, protects you from harmful radiation from EMFs, and promotes a restful night's sleep. Emotional healing works to reduce anxiety, stressful thoughts, panic attacks, and self-harm thoughts. Also therapy. Yes. Calms the mind, so it is perfect for use during meditation. Can release negative thoughts associated with fear, jealousy, or anger. Supports mental clarity and emotional balance. Is known to increase cooperation and unification with others so you can reach the same goal or desire. Once again, it is a 7 on the hardness scale because it's a quartz. Now, with this one, you also do not want to put it in sunlight. You can put it in water, but the color will fade or it will actually just change if it's been left in the sun too long. Number 10, we've got sunstone. So, the keywords for sunstone are abundance, joy, creativity, strength, and energy. Spiritual healing, it brings positive energy and abundance, can aid in protection against negativity and evil spirits, clears and energizes all 7 chakras, encourages you to be your most authentic self, and it sparks new ideas, creativity, and visions. In physical healing, it aids in improving overall health and well-being, stimulates sexuality, passion, and libido, assists in vitality, strength, energy, and longevity, and it supports a healthy circulatory and nervous system. In emotional healing, it can help relieve stress and conquer fears, boost feelings of optimism, euphoria, and self-care. This is the one I brought up at the very beginning where it says helps individuals battling depression find happiness and joy again. Also, do not stop, like if you are on antidepressants, don't just stop taking your antidepressants and use sunstone. Encourages independence and originality, boosts feelings of self-confidence, courage, and self-worth, encourages healthy and positive relationships. It is a 6 to a 6.5 on the hardness scale. Can be used in water since it is a little, on the lower side of the hardness scale. Definitely anything below 4 you don't want to put in water. 5 can be okay, 6 can be okay, usually 7 and up is pretty okay. Since it is a 6.5, I wouldn't leave it in the water for too long, maybe drop it down in there and then take it back out pretty soon. Just don't leave it in there too long. Same with the sun. Do not allow it to be in the sun for too long. 5 to 10 minutes max. Okay. But yeah, and that is sunstone. Nice. So that is our 10 beginner ones. And then, of course, I want to give a shout out to Tiger's Eye, Jasper, and Malachite because those are my homies. Love Tiger's Eye, love Jasper, and love Malachite. So wanted to give a little shout out to those as ones that I use often and like to have. Now, the biggest thing is to remember to be careful and use precautions. We kind of talked about it already, but some crystals cannot be placed in water, and they contain minerals that are toxic or hazardous. Same with sunlight, they can crack, fade, break, or even start a fire. I recommend looking these things up before doing anything with your crystal, and if you're not sure, it's always better to be safe than sorry. So let's say you buy a crystal and you forget what it is, and you're like, I'm not really sure what crystal this is. Just don't do anything with it if you're not sure. Don't put it in water. Don't put it in the sun. Yeah. Especially if you're not sure. It is always better to be safe than sorry. And look out for any crystals that say they are heat treated, synthetic, man-made / what's the other word? Artificial. Yeah, man-made, artificial, or synthetic. If they're dyed or aura treated, you need to have extra caution because amethyst and clear quartz, they're both safe in water. But a dyed amethyst and an aura treated clear quartz are not. So just do your research and practice that it's better to be safe than sorry if you are not absolutely certain.
Yeah, and maybe don't rely on dollar store, Five Below, Hobby Lobby for real crystals.
Yeah.
Maybe go to a local crystal shop.
Yeah, we have a couple of crystal shops downtown, and that's where I get all of my stuff. Yeah. They're very good. They're well made. They are a bit pricier, but that's because they're authentic. They are real. So you don't have to worry as much. Yeah. With them being dyed or heat treated or a man-made crystal. But so definitely try and find local crystal shops. I have one that I use all the time that I love a lot. So just look around. You can also buy crystals online, but definitely do your research, check reviews. Yeah. Biggest thing, check reviews and just read everything.
All the fine print.
Yes.
All good stuff.
Yeah. So that is crystals.
Very, very fun. Yeah, I'm not a crystal girlie, so this was interesting. Like, I have quite a few, but I don't, like, actively use them. They're just kind of there sometimes, and I still, you know, I cleanse them, I charge them, but I never make an effort, really, to use them.
Which, I mean, is different for everybody, like...
Yeah.
You know.
I do, like, I'll set up, like, if I'm doing something specific, I might grab the wand, or I might, you know... I think my pendulum is a clear quartz, actually, instead of rose. So, I mean, it's there, but I've never actively, like, thinking too much about the crystal.
Yeah, and like we talked about in types of witches, like some people are more drawn to using crystals often than other people, and I am very drawn to crystals. I like them. I
appreciate them.
I'm like a crow. I'm like, shoo, shiny rock.
Yeah. And we love it. You got a crow, as Pam kept saying.
Yeah. You do have to crow.
Probably back full circle.
Well, shall we spin for next week and find out what we're going to do next week then?
Yes, let's do that. Okay. Well, so we spent just chatting. Even though we've kind of done that a little bit this week and last week. It'll be fine.
That's okay. Because we just chat a lot. Yeah. So we may as well make a whole episode out of it next week.
Yeah, so we're very casual. Who knows what the hell we're going to come here talking about.
And who knows what the hell we're going to drink, because Brittany's got to come up with something.
Oh, God. It's always me. It's not like you anymore.
It really hasn't been.
It's like, she's going to do lemon drops, and I don't want to pick her.
That's what the Wheelers say. They know I want lemon drop cocktails again, and they're like, no.
She cannot. The wheel knows better, I guess.
So, I mean, if you make lemon drop cocktails, maybe it'll stop spinning you, as it feels a sense of betrayal. It won't land on you for a while.
Okay. We'll have to figure out something. I haven't done a full, proper drink in a while, so maybe I will try to come up with, like...
I got you that new drink book.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, maybe I'll pull a card and see what the drink is. I'll have to do it early, though, because I'll have to make sure I have the shit I need.
Yeah, or especially if it's, like, something that, like, infuse this for 3 days.
So maybe I'll have to do it, like, the few days before. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'll come up with something. Maybe I will do that.
All right. Well, yeah, definitely join us next week, because that'll be fun. I'm excited.
It'll be a surprise episode, pretty much. Maybe something crazy will happen on Skylar's show, and I can hear all the juicy details.
Yes, and I will tell you everything.
Love it.
So if you would like to find us as a collective, you can find us at Sip in Spin Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and especially on our YouTube channel. We post 2 to 3 times a week, so definitely come check us out over there. And if you would like to email us anything, you can email us at sipandspinpod@gmail.com. If you'd like to find Brittany, you can find her at Whimsy Dream or Whimsy Dreams, depending on what was available. And if you'd like to find me, I am Gleam YKS on everything. But as always, the 3 link trees for myself, Brittany, and the show will be down in the description below. And come check us out on YouTube.
Yes. And we thank you so much for listening. If you still listen to us. We don't even know anymore. I don't keep track.
It's okay. We just do this for fun anyways.
Yeah. I do think we got our Spotify Wrapped recently, and we do have, like, an up percentage of something. Did you ever look at that? I meant to tell you.
I looked at my Spotify Wrapped. I didn't know it gave us a Spotify Wrapped.
Yeah, podcasts get a Wrapped. But it's just for, like, we're on other programs also, other than just Spotify. Mm-hmm. So this was just strictly for, like, Spotify.
Okay. We'll have to look at that.
I'll have to show it to you.
Yeah.
So I know there are some, like, new listeners and, like, in the same categories. It's, like, entertainment and, like, pop culture. So I'm like, hey, if we fall into that for you, that's great.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, thanks for, like, if you're new this year, that's awesome. Thanks for joining us. If you're a long-time listener, I'm surprised you're still here.
What are you doing?
There's so much better things you could be doing with your time, honestly, but we really appreciate it. So thank you.
Yeah, come join us next week, because it'll be probably chaotic, but we will sip with you then.
And we thrive on chaos.
Yes.
and alcohol. So it'll be a fun week.
It's basically our genetic makeup.
And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yes.
Bye.